foundationally, what is your prospecting process?
So, first and foremost, having messaging available that people can go and consume on their own is really important. So, you want to try to get your business model out there in different mediums and different forms. For the most part, we try to traffic and funnel our customers into our website so that they can come in and take advantage of the call to actions that we have. And what we want to do is we want to be able to have them come to us through inbound interest. Now, we do cold call and prospect, but the goal of prospecting in a cold fashion through outreach is not to go out there and dial for dollars and make 100 calls a day. What we want to do is we want to narrow that down to where we're making a dozen calls a day, but they're really they're qualified and quality engagements that are outbound oriented. So I want to be able to capture some information. I want to know what your interests are before we make that first phone call. So where did you go on the website? What did you look at? The analytics behind your journey to what you're focusing on. We have 3 different products. So what drew you in the first place to find our site? What then did you engage with? What pages, what content, what information did you consume? And we try to narrow that down into the information that helps us tell, that gives us an idea of what your interests and needs are. And so from that, we then draft discovery questions, and we have a canned set of discovery questions that we ask, and everybody's trained on how to ask them. But really it's about taking that information and then putting together a custom set of questions and setting up a conversation to talk with the prospect about what their challenges are, their needs are, what their interests are, and what drew them to us. And really it starts as a discussion. So yes, we have bullets and topics, but much like this conversation, it's, tell me about your business. Tell me what led you to look at our page about document cleanup. What are you struggling with when you try to clean documents, and why is it so important that you are interested in a tool to help you? So talk about your business process. And we go through these questions, as some of them some of them are organic that come out in the discussion, and we listen. We pull out our listening ears. We ask questions to get the prospect engaging and talking about themselves. We don't try to sell anyone in the discovery call. So you're not pitching your product. You're not talking about the price. You're not talking about how important the feature set is and how it can help them. None of that happens in the discovery call. We don't do any of that. And so we gather all that information, and we then set up a presentation of the tool, the product that we offer, and we tailor that presentation to what their needs and challenges and interests and what led them to us are. And that's really important, because when we show someone a workflow in a presentation about how our product can help them, they're able to connect with why we care about them and why we took the effort and the time and the energy to hear them, listen to them, understand their pain points, and show them how we can help them rather than show them a whole bunch of features. And we start the journey of telling a story of how we as a company, not just the products, can help you. And so that builds from the initial presentation and the conversation into a technical discussion maybe, and then into a second follow-up demo with a deeper dive where we really dig into the product and how it works and how it can help and the workflow of the business. We talk about how we can complement a customer's workflow, and how we can use the software to set it up a certain way to embrace a workflow that they already have. And so there's not so much change. And by the time we get to the conversation about money, the hope is that the interest of the customer asking us, why should we choose you, is now flipped upside down, where now the prospect genuinely believes, and has good foundation to believe this, that our product and our solution and our company and our personnel and our people now are the best fit for their business, and they become our champions as they push it across the finish line. So there's a conversion process that happens in the sales cycle that usually happens about 2/3 of the way or 3/4 of the way through, which is the critical piece, which is getting a customer to buy in before they actually pull the trigger on sell.